The pole dance world is made of a wide variety of people. They are the athletes, the teachers, the students, the owner of studios, owner of brands, the organizers of competitions and events, and many more. All of them are part of the pole dance world. All together, they make the pole dance community. And I would love all these amazing people to have a voice and a chance to share their experience. That is why I'm going to start a series of interviews of all kinds of people involved in pole dancing. The aim is to bring attention and give credit to those who are not always getting a lot of exposure. And I would like to include everybody because we all have something to share.
So, hello everybody. Today I am with Millan. She's a great pole dance athlete. If you are a pole dancer, you've already probably seen her on Instagram. She's very flexible and she's strong too. She always finds her way into really creative shapes. So, hello Nia, thank you for being with us today.
Hi, thank you for having me. Excited to be here.
Great, awesome. I hope you're ready to answer the questions.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's great to have a chance to talk to you today because I realized that actually we should have met about a year ago at pole dance. It was the pole dance competition of Miss Olympia in Las Vegas. And actually I got injured, so I had to withdraw. And I missed my chance to meet you.
Yes, that was a shame. I was actually looking forward to meeting you too.
Yeah, but today will be the day. At least I can get to know you more. I think all the people who follow you and those who don't know you yet will be very happy to learn more about you. So it's great we are doing this now.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're ready, I'm gonna start with my first question. So first, I was wondering why you started pole dance and what exactly appealed to you about this sport.
So, I remember like one time randomly, I was looking through a newspaper and I saw an ad and I thought it was fascinating. And I was like, oh my God, I would really like to get to one of these classes. But like at the timing, it just didn't work out. And then like a year later, I actually went to study in London for a couple of years, and I joined a gym that had all these great classes, and I didn't realize one of the classes was actually pole dance that they had at this gym. So this one time I was like walking to like one of my things that I had to do, and I randomly saw them having the class, and I was like, oh my God, what is that? And they were like going upside down, like nothing major, and it was like just so fascinating to me. So after that, I was like, okay, I need to make sure that I sign up for one of these classes. And they were so popular at the time, it actually took me months to be able to sign up for one. And I did finally, and the instructor was so amazingly lovely. We're still really good friends. And I think, because she was like so encouraging and so patient, because I was not good back then at anything I did.
But it's good to hear that for those who are afraid of getting started, that we also get through that. Like maybe they see we are professional and know, and that it was an easy start, but it's not always the case. So it's great you're mentioning that. They think you are maybe naturally just gifted for everything, but you.
Yes, I was not. I was not. I had to work really, really hard. And for me, like, really, that was like a big deal in, starting a whole career, if you may say so, was this encouragement and this patience and motivation from my instructor.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that talking to people, sometimes I hear different stories about the teachers, and some are really amazed with their teacher and they felt a lot of support. That is your case. And sometimes there is interestingly, there can be the opposite. Like some teachers are discouraging, also some teachers are jealous, and
Yes,
it's good to hear a nice story like yours.
yes, that happens too, unfortunately. And it did happen years later, but because my first experience was so good, I think it made a
Mm.
difference.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, otherwise you might have missed out on this talent that you have.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, how long ago was that? When did you start, Paul?
So that was 2013. So a little
2013.
bit
Okay.
over 7 years ago, I
Yeah.
started.
Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Um, yeah, and yeah, like I said, it was studying full time, so it was kind of like it was
Uh,
also like a way to like get some workout done and
mhm.
fit. Of course, I never imagined that it would completely absorb my life.
Yeah, because you were studying to get to a certain job. Maybe you had something else in mind at that time.
Exactly. Yes. I was doing a master's in business, and my plan was
Oh.
to get, a typical corporate desk job. Yeah, exciting. I did for a while, but that did not pan out so well for me. And I felt like, I had all these other passion for other things, so I decided to go for that instead.
Mm. That's good. Did you feel it was hard to transition for something so conventional and that people respect easily? I think,
Yes,
and going towards something that was first had sometimes a bad reputation till
absolutely.
now, and also maybe when people have good intention and they're not being judgy, sometimes they simply don't know what it is about. So
Yeah, or they
did you
don't understand. Yes, I absolutely encountered that. Because then, it's still a controversial sort of hobby or sport or art or whatever you may call it. And I did encounter that from my friends, from my family. Like, what are you doing? You have this great education, like, you have these job opportunities, but it just didn't make me happy.
Mm.
It plainly didn't. And I felt like, if anything, it was making me miserable. So
Yeah, I mean, you made the right decision.
I
Like,
think so.
yeah.
Yes.
Mm. I think that when I decided to change my path, also my family didn't really understand. They felt, but it's not a job, and like, what is it even? Like, they were not really even sure what it means, and they wanted me to finish what I was studying, pastry at that time. They wanted me to get the qualification first, but I was like, no, it's now. So I didn't want to miss the
So
timing. So
I always see your creations on Instagram. Everything looks so amazing.
thank you. Thank you. So I didn't become a professional though, so I don't see myself as a pro when I make cakes, but that's the direction I was taking. So just like you, it's nothing to do with pole dance. So it's funny to see where we end up. But yeah, yeah. So it's eventually maybe you started and then you showed to everybody what really this is about, and probably now they must be proud of you.
Yes, they've come a long way and they've have changed their mind quite a bit,
Mm,
fortunately.
yeah.
So better now.
Yeah, cool. So, before starting pole, did you have any sport background or dance backgrounds?
So not really. When I was very little, I did ballet for like, I don't know, 2 years when I was, very like a child.
Yeah.
Um, that I didn't stick to it. Then I tried like throughout my childhood, I tried so many different sports. I tried martial arts, I tried
Oh.
tennis, I tried golf, um dance, like so many things, and like I honestly just didn't like anything. I was like, I cannot, it was like kind of like forcing myself to doing something that I didn't quite
Mm,
actually enjoyed. um and I think it was just the fact that I hadn't found my thing.
yeah.
So yeah, I did try a few things. I couldn't say that I really had a background that stuck to me, that is even coming out in the stuff I do now.
Mm.
So really, I feel like when I started pole, I pretty much started from zero.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. And again, good to know for the others. But it's nice that pole dance gave you that thing for you because, for example, before I started pole, I liked crafts, I liked drawing and painting, that sort of things. I liked making cakes, so I had different ways of expressing myself. And of course, I was dancing. I did a little bit of ballet, but mainly rhythmic gymnastics. So I always had things to express myself. But maybe in your case, you had not found what it was, and must have been quite liberating and exciting to find this for you.
Yes, I think so. Yes. And likewise, Paul has brought many more wonderful things to my life. I started doing yoga, and then that eventually led to contortion, um,
Mm.
to dance, and to other circus arts, which, the more you get into it, it's like kind of going into the rabbit hole and getting more and more stuff that you find passions for.
Yeah, that's great. So now you have like this wide skill set because of Paul was the base, and you're interested in those other. It's like different branches that it can complement each other. So you
Yes,
feel maybe more open to trying different things.
yes, I do.
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I think once we have that base of flexibility and strength, we become curious about, but what is that potential I have, and can I use it for
Yes,
other things?
yes, and for me, it's like the feeling of flying,
Yeah.
being in the air. It's like something I've never experienced, and to me, that's like life. That's living.
Yeah. Yeah, and I understand. It's like there's gravity for people, and then for pole dancers, it's like for a moment you forget that it applies to you. So
Everything's gone.
for a moment, because then you try a new trick and you're like, oh no, I am an elephant and I am attracted to the ground. But we do have those moments, yeah.
For sure.
So could you be able to explain a little bit how your training has evolved from, when you started, maybe you had a certain way of learning and practicing, and maybe now it is different?
Yes, quite different. So I think, when you start pole, you start, very safe, very, um, traditional stuff. Of course, you have to develop the strength. It's not like you can all suddenly do funges or whatever it is. You got to start somewhere. And um, I'm sorry, I got completely upset.
It's all right. Pole dancers are tired. They work really hard. So sometimes you just take a breath, okay? That's fine.
Yeah, I get distracted easily. Yeah.
No, that's fine. Don't worry. Don't worry. So yeah, we were talking like your training, how you started. How did it look like for you to train at that time?
Right. So, I was taking classes, so I would typically do like one class a day. Um, and in the beginning, I remember I would be sore for days on end, like so sore that I couldn't even move. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, and all the bruising and all these new sensations. You're like, oh my God, my hands hurt. Like my hands never hurt. Like all these different things. So, I was doing it maybe once or twice a week. And then at some point you get stronger, you get more flexible, you start learning new things, putting them together, so you get excited, so you start taking 4 classes a week, 5 classes a week, and so on until finally one day you're like, oh, I can actually do things on my own. And I think for me that was a big way to level up my training, because you start doing things that your body wants to do. Your body wants to move a certain way, so you start connecting more with yourself, with your style, to learn on your own, which is, it's kind of a big deal, you know, instead of having someone telling you, oh, you have to put your hand here, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Yeah.
You have to figure it out on your own. And for me, I
Mm.
think that was a big way to progress, you know, once you have that base, which I still.
Yeah, I think I understand because I'm mainly self-taught, and I feel that um, this time that you have with yourself is, like you said, you find something that is for your body, and um, it's also let you know what you're good at and what you can improve. And when you're in the class, sometimes it's all there set up for you, but it can be also a little bit restricting
Yes.
your potential. So I think that it's good to spend time practicing by yourself to figure out things and to figure out also who you are as a pole athlete, even
Yes,
if you're not pro
absolutely.
yet, but like what's your real potential. So that was at the beginning, and then maybe
Yes,
eventually. Um,
yes. And you know, now, um, well, because I was like living in cities where pole wasn't like really that big of a thing for a while, I realized I saw the value in having your own training space. So I was always like, okay, I need a pole at home and I need to make sure I have like my space where I can do it whenever I can, whenever I want. So yes, I train a lot at home. But again, I also think it's nice to always come back as a student and learn from other people, because they will make you do things that maybe you wouldn't try on your
mm,
own, or you wouldn't even think they're there. And it's nice, you know, learning from different styles, different dancers, different
mm.
visions. So I've also been doing that quite a lot, which is something, you know, positive. I think that this whole crisis has brought, that I think it's brought us closer together by all these instructors having these platforms of learning,
Yeah,
which.
that's true. I think because we're really scattered all over the world, of course, sometimes we meet for competition and such, but uh, I think now people realize that there's so much we can do online and maybe trying to connect in a different way. So yeah,
Yes.
it's nice if you be part of such things going on now. So you're
Yes.
self-taught a lot.
Yes. Yes, quite a lot. I can't say like, you know, everything that I do, I've learned on my own. I've definitely more than once have gone to people like, okay, I need to understand how to do this. Please help me. And I
Mm.
think that's, you know, totally valid. We all need help at some point.
Yeah, it can be repetitive sometimes to do always by yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah. And would you be able to share with us how much you train, how much you actually train? The reason why I'm asking is because sometimes um, people either they don't really want to disclose this, either when they say it sounds like they exaggerate a little bit, like they sound like they are doing like 10 hours training every day, and I feel it can be discouraging for the people who want to learn and who want to be good. They feel, I will never get there if it has to be done so much. I can't do it. But maybe it's not like that in reality. So
Yeah.
if you could tell me, and there's honestly no bad answer. It's just, whether you do a lot or you don't. It's like just no. Honestly, it's like if you don't mind sharing.
Yeah, no, of course. And yeah, I totally get it. So um, the more I get, so, or let's put it this way, like the more time passes by, I found that my body is able to train for longer hours.
Okay.
Um, because of the pandemic, you know, we were stuck at home. There was nothing to do other than train for the most part. So I started training quite a lot. And I would easily do like 6 to 7 hours a day some days. Um,
Wow.
but because of that, I actually got an injury from overtraining, overuse. So that is not something that I would recommend to people. And if anything, I found the value of having shorter trainings that are more efficient, where you go in like, okay, I'm gonna warm up, quick, I'm gonna do my stretches that I gotta do, I'm gonna get on the pole, and you lay out a plan of the stuff you want to do. So that's kind of like where I'm focusing more, like, okay, maybe I don't need to train for 6 hours a day where it's not all like intense, because you can, pole is not one of the things that you can be like go go go, like you need breaks. So I think because I got this injury very recently, that's gonna change a little bit for me. So I think shorter, more efficient trainings are probably the way to go.
Okay, yeah, that's the way I do actually. I don't know if that is the way I actually think I should spend more time training, but I like to just get it done. It's like I love full, and I love learning and then practicing and all, but I never had such long training. You're saying 6 hours. Never I spend 6 hours in a day. I like to just getting done, then I go home and I chill. it's like it's for me it can't be that long, and I can't say I avoided injuries because of that, because I am injured currently too. So I don't know. I'm not saying my way is better at all, but it seems it's my default setting. So to be honest, I want to become more like you. But yeah, maybe we will find the right balance
I think
eventually
so.
between the two of us.
Balance in there for sure.
Yeah. So what is your injury right now?
So I injured my trap. Got a pinched nerve right next to my upper spine, in between my shoulder blade and my spine. I pinched something horrible there, and it was like excruciating pain for like a week. And then I got some rest, and then I was like, oh, it's feeling better, I think I'm gonna try to train. Bad idea. You should not give it a week for something that serious. And I re-injured it, so now I'm out for probably longer.
So now you have that injury, and you're figuring out the way you can
So
get it.
I'm taking the time, to rest, to slow down, to work on things that I normally don't really find the time to work on, like focusing just on lines, on like leg strength, on point, like, dance on the floor, that kind of thing. So it's been good. Definitely, frankly, looking forward to getting back on the pole and on my normal contortion training. But it takes time, and with injuries, I think the most important thing is to be patient and let your body have the time to heal and recover the way it's meant to, because we only have one body.
Yes. Yeah. That's true. And we're not always sure what to do, when to get back, and even the doctors sometimes are clueless because they know some other sports, but this one they don't. So they don't always
And
know what is the right approach. So we
that's so
have
tough
to
with
trust
pole.
instinct, and it can be hard to make those decisions.
Yeah, because you go to a physical therapist or the doctor, and then they ask you, how did you hurt it? Yeah, I was doing this thing. And they look at you like you're crazy. Like, no, like, this is what we do. We know how to do it. We didn't do anything out of the ordinary. It's just probably got overused from training too much.
Yeah, I was wondering also, pole dance is your only job, or do you also have other things? Like, do you make a living by pole dance?
Oh, right. Well, I currently do. So for a while, because I'm actually not from the States. I moved here in 2015. And yes, for a long time, I tried to find just, again, like a normal job to kind of try it out. But it didn't really work out that great for me here. And at the same time where I was living, I kept having all this inquiries about teaching and performing and stuff. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna go in that direction because it feels like the natural flow of things. And yes, at the time being, I'm fully making a living or a partial living out of pole.
Pole
Yes,
dance meaning teaching,
teaching, performing.
performing too in shows.
Yes, I did for a while. Not now,
Hmm.
but hopefully it will come back. So
Yeah, yeah,
that is
that's nice. Yeah,
yes.
that's cool. And you take part in competition sometimes. Do you have a favorite competition? And could you tell us why this one?
Um, well, I think, for example, that Olympia that happened last year was a really well set up competition. I like the fact that it's kind of like an enclosed group of competitors. Like we all know each other, we know the organizers personally, so it feels very much personal, like a little family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not into like the big commercial competitions because I feel like they don't really care about your art. You're just a number to them, and that I don't enjoy. You know, I wanna feel special in a way.
Yeah, no, but that's
Well, if you're spending all this time putting all this energy and love into something, like you want to feel appreciated in a way. um, so I really enjoy that one. And then the other one that I really love that I did 2 years in a row was Pole Art America, which is run by the US Pole Sport Federation. um, and it was both times it was a great experience. Like the stage was absolutely breathtaking, the pictures, the production, the everything was really wonderful.
it's
So I
good
hope,
when the whole thing like really does justice to the piece that you
yes,
prepared. Because
yes,
it's not always the case actually.
yes. And you know, it's nice. You want to go on a stage that appeals to you, that inspires you, not just some like dark black generic background.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah. So, talking about inspiration, that reminds me a question I really wanted to ask you. It looks like you're really interested in the creative side of pole dance. So, what triggers your creativity, and also what kills it?
Yes. So yes, I call it exploring. I just, you know, I get on a pole with no plan, see where it goes. I film everything that I do, and then I will rewatch
Oh,
it. So much
that's
detail.
clever thing to do.
Yes, and then I'm like, I find like these transitions or these interesting moves, and I'm like, oh, that looks really interesting. Maybe I should try this other way. And you know, maybe that's why sometimes I take so long hours training, because I just kind of like get immersed, and it's like this focus is like, you know, you're in the zone. So I get fully immersed into it. And you know, sometimes good things come out of it, sometimes nothing comes out of it. But I think it's really just having like the time
Yeah.
and the disposition to be like, okay, I'm just gonna like take this time to explore and see where it goes. um, and which brings me to the opposite point, which is what kills my creativity, I feel, is like being under pressure. So, you know, while I was saying I've enjoyed being on certain stages, competing, I don't actually like the pressure that it brings to me and the stress. Because it's like, okay, I gotta do this and then this and this and this and this. And then I feel like very restricted in what I'm doing.
Yeah, I
Um,
can relate.
you
Yeah.
don't have the energy to do more than your routine preparation. So
It's very
that,
hard to make the decisions anyway when you're creating a piece for a competition. There's your vision, like maybe artistic vision and the music you love and everything. And then you have to fit some tricks because you have to score something. But
yeah,
then also, you don't want to lose yourself in it. And it's easy to happen. There's so many tricks you want to fit in, and then you become a robot. And then sometimes you're just looking too much the cut-off point or like the judging score system, and you're like, I have too much for this. Is that really? And
yeah,
once you start thinking this too much, I feel, and I'm sure you have had similar experiences. Like you want to do something that was before, maybe because you know that it's a winning recipe. You know how people like this trick, and then maybe you don't create something really new anymore. So it's always that temptation coming back.
Yes,
Mm.
yes, I agree. And I also I fall in this path, which I think is a mistake, but I think we're all guilty of this. Like you think, oh, these are my judges. They want to see these type of moves, these type of tricks, and then you start thinking of preparing something that someone else would like.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, or
sometimes
sometimes it's
we're-
even like let's say your judge is a really powerful one, and you're like, oh, I should show powerful thing to that
exactly,
person.
exactly.
Oh, but maybe no, maybe I should show flexibility because they can't do, so they will be more impressed. So you're like, oh, let's stop
No,
thinking the judge.
I wish I was in that person's head, but at the end of the day, I mean, you're creating this piece for yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's the way, I think that's the ideal way that we should.
Yeah, of course. Because if it doesn't go like the way you plan, meaning winning, because we all want this at the end of the day, at least you have something that represents you, that you'll be proud to show to your people. And just because maybe if you're 100% just the athlete side, like you only want to train, and maybe that's not too frustrating if the piece doesn't match you completely. But if it's like you, for example, you feel like you're an artist and you want to express yourself. So if it's not really you, and it happened to me sometimes, maybe having a performance that after I watch it, I feel I wasn't there, and then I don't dislike it because I did not get anything, but I dislike it because I knew that I kind of missed the point.
Yeah.
So if you can avoid that, yeah, that's
Yes,
great.
I think that's something that it's hard to fix, but I think that it's important for pole dancers to keep in mind, like at the end of the day, like who are you doing it for?
Yeah, and that's also nice that you have shows too, because for me, I don't ever perform for shows. When I perform, it's always for competitions. So I always have that frustration, that dilemma between having to, do well in the competition, but also um, being true to myself and doing something that represents me. So it's always a compromise, but maybe if you do shows, you feel a little bit more free.
Yes, I love doing shows. It's my favorite way to perform because you're free. You're free to do whatever you want, to just go have fun on stage. I don't think there's like any specific expectations of what you should be doing. And it's mostly you're performing for audiences that know nothing about pole. So it literally doesn't matter what you do, they're not going to know any better. And I found quite interestingly that oftentimes more simple things will make them look more amazed than like if you pulled out a rainbow marchenko. Like they just don't understand what goes into it. So I think yeah, shows it's so much fun, and it's just so much more creative, I think.
And also maybe when you're not too wrapped around the idea you have to show technique, maybe
Yes.
you can shine more, like your personality shines through, and that people who don't know anything about pole and technique, they can feel.
Yes,
So maybe that makes the big difference.
I agree. Yes.
Okay, yeah. And so you love pole dance, and that's pretty much your life now. Is there something you would like to achieve by doing pole dance?
Well, so I recently moved to Las Vegas, which is the capital of entertainment.
Yeah.
So I moved here for a reason. I wanted to be where the big opportunities are for performing, and for Cirque. And, my dream is to hopefully one day make it to a show, to a resident show, even. I know that's like a long way to go. And, even to talk about it now, it's like everything's paralyzed, everything's kind of dead at the moment. So it's not
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful that it will come back. And I think that as pole becomes more and more mainstream, I think that the circus industry and the entertainment industry has found the value in that, and that it can be, performed in front of an audience of all ages. And even though, pole comes from this exotic background that we can't deny, and I think there's nothing wrong with that. It can also be performed, in a more dancey, artistic. It can be whatever you want it to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of
Oh,
where I
that's
hope
nice.
that it will take me one day.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I look forward to seeing that. Actually, I'm not in the city for that. Like, Tokyo is not Las Vegas, so we don't really have those kind of shows. It's like if you want to perform, it's more like in the clubs at night time, and it's not
Right.
really my thing. Of course, it gives a chance to other pole dancers to make a living by pole, because if you just rely on teaching, sometimes it's just not enough.
Yes.
And some girls really find, they like it. They like being sexy, they like working at night, but it's not for everybody, and I think it's not my thing. So yeah, probably the kind of shows that you're talking about would be more interesting. So yeah, we'll see how you're getting on with that in the future. Hopefully your dreams will come true. But you
Hopefully.
already have you're already in it, so hopefully you can just keep doing more of this.
Yes. Well, first we need to COVID to go
Yeah,
away.
yeah, yeah, but this won't be forever. So I understand it's frustrating right now, but this won't last. Hopefully. So another question I came up with was, if you were not a pole dancer, do you think you would see yourself as something else? Because, for example, in my case, I really love pole dance, and this is my job too.
Mhm.
Um, but I feel like maybe it's not forever, and it's not the love of my life. Like, it includes different love that I have for, training and expressing myself, and also the teaching side of it I really enjoy. But maybe this could be through different
Mhm.
career, different discipline.
Mhm.
How about you? Do you see yourself doing something else?
So it's interesting you ask, because I've actually been given this a lot of thought lately,
Ah,
randomly. Um, and so I'm very, very passionate about animals. I love animals in all shapes and forms.
mm-hmm.
Um, and I think I actually made a mistake when I went into school. I think I should have become a veterinarian, probably, or something related in the field. Well, that didn't happen. Or a zoologist. I think I would have liked to be a
Yeah.
zookeeper.
Ah.
But yeah, I think, one day, again, yes, we cannot do this forever, or at least for as much as we do it now.
Mhm.
Um, I always thought, like, I'd like to have like a farm with animals.
Ah, sweet.
I'm a dog breeder. I love dogs. I want to be surrounded by dogs all the time.
Ah.
So maybe something in the lines of that, I think, one day.
Ah,
Have,
yeah. Or you can train an animal to perform pole with you.
yeah, funny you should mention it, because that is also in my plans.
Yeah, that would be really cool. Yeah, if you manage that, I'll give you so much credit. But must be amazing to watch now.
Uh, it's a goal that
Oh,
hopefully.
that's great. Yeah, cool. Anyway, yeah, let's see how it goes for you then. Let's see the next step and what direction. It's interesting also to see, because like you said, being athletes, like you find your limit at some point, and you have to slow down or make it evolve and turn into something else. And because pole dance is not, it's a new sport, so there's no certain profile of people that comes into pole dance, so you see all kind of people. And
Everything.
then what you will see is also all sort of end of career, like different direction taken from here. So it will be interesting to see where you go and how you make it evolve, and where I go and how I make it evolve.
Yes,
So
for sure.
yeah.
And it's constantly evolving. I feel like there's all this like different styles that people are creating, and you know, even like pole dance into music that I think 5 years ago nobody would have even thought. So it's quite interesting.
Yeah, we're waiting for your performance with a bunch of dogs then. Yeah. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
thinking, yeah, there is anything I wanted to ask.
I gotta say, I'm always amazed by how beautiful your hair is. Like you're
Thank you.
like flowers and with your braids, like it must take you.
You have beautiful hair too, really long.
But I can't do anything with it. I swear, it's just not the type of hair that you can style.
But you know, at least you can leave them down and have a life with it. But if I leave my hair down, it catches things, and they really fly around. Like they are very they, like thin, maybe individually. So it's like I would never pull like you do with the hair down. It looks amazing, but honestly, I can do 3 hairstyles, and that's one of them, and it happened to look good enough. I'm lucky, but really, I can't do many hairstyles, so this is one of the easiest.
Well, it looks lovely. I mean,
Thank you.
like a pole ballerina. It's beautiful. I love it.
Thank you. You too. Yes, you look great. Yes. So it was really nice talking to you.
You too.
Very interesting, actually, and I think people who watch, they will be interested too, and it's good to hear you as well, because we see your photos and your great videos and everything, and I love watching it, but it's so much nicer to actually really talk as well. It's like,
yes,
so
that was really nice.
yeah, I hope we can meet once this whole virus thing is gone.
I know.
There will be other competitions.
We can travel again one day.
Yeah, we will.
We will.
Okay. Well, I will link your Instagram so people can watch you at the same time as listening. And
Wonderful.
yeah, that's great. Thank you so much. It
Thank
was
you
really nice. Yeah, I hope people will enjoy as much as I have.
Yes, it was lovely to get to know you better too.
Okay, so I'm gonna say thank you for today, and hopefully I will meet you in real life. And
Hopefully, that's the plan.
yes, okay. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye, guys.
I hope you enjoyed this interview. If you have some questions you would like me to ask to the guests in the future, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. See you again soon. Bye!